All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Sunday, February 9th, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always. It's none other than Mr. Radio Car. Say hello, Mr. Radio Car.
Hey everybody, welcome to my Honda.
There you go. This is our special Super Bowl Sunday show. It may very well be the three of us with Harry coming along shortly. Last year, if you remember correctly, if you're a long-time watcher, or at least a year-long watcher, Harry was not on the show. But this is our fifth annual Super Bowl Sunday show. So we did not want to miss a year. And yes, you are seeing right. If you do know what team I am a fan of, that yes, it's paining me to wear this, but it would pain me to wear the other teams more today. So we'll talk more about that.
You are a better man than I, sir.
Hey,
Well, you know what? That's not true. Listen. I think I've said this before. I am the worst. Like I rooted for the Patriots against the Giants. Because of my father, who said if you are a fan of one team from a city or a region or a state, you must hate all the others. So of course, and then he made me a Jet fan, which thanks, Dad. So my hatred for the Giants and the Bills was greater than any. And even after all of the Patriots' success and all that, I could not root for the Giants when they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And of course, the Giants won both times.
Right.
So I really should, and I feel ashamed of it, to be honest. But that's how I really felt. So I can't say anything about anybody rooting for any team that might be in their division. You're kind of in the same boat right now, except that
same boat. I would look.
Your hatred is of the Chiefs instead of the Giants. So
I will tell you this, and I agree with you because, well, on that note, to your point, I do know a few people like you and I are both Mets fans, right? You dislike I won't say the word hate. You dislike the Yankees.
Not anymore. Used to hate. Now just dislike.
Right. So you dislike the Yankees maybe a little bit more than I do, but I don't really even dislike them, right? I don't want to say I'm a homer or anything like that. I'm a fan of the Mets, but I don't hate the Yankees. If the Mets are playing the Yankees, I'm rooting for the Mets, but I don't just root against. I don't root for the Yankees to lose 162 games, right? Whatever. Now, also as a Mets fan, as most Mets fans are, we're also kind of closet Red Sox fans because of the Yankees rivalry, you know. That you can toss that up in the air. But my point is this: when the Yankees played the Eagles in the World Series in 2009, I was rooting for the Yankees. Why the hell am I going to root for the Phillies? Did I say the Eagles?
Right.
Yeah. They were playing the Eagles. That would have been an interesting World Series.
You might have rooted for the Eagles had they been just for the novelty of it. I think I'd like to see an NFL team win the World Series for once.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I could do that to you. But why the hell would I root for the Phillies, though, right? As a Mets fan.
There's different levels. There's different levels.
Right. But I knew plenty of Mets fans that rooted for the Phillies just because of their deep-seated hatred for the Yankees. They rooted for their arch rival in their division, their closest arch rival in the division, because they hated the Yankees that much. That really, in and of it, other than how the fans react to each other and play with each other and whose town it is, right? Other than that stuff, the Yankees mean nothing to the Mets. Different leagues, The Yankees only mean something to the Mets 3 times a year, except for once every 3 years, and it's 6 times a year, right? Or sometimes they only do 2 games, whatever. The interleague games. And if they do feature each other in the World Series. But other than that, it makes no sense. Anyway, so
it just depends like what your number 2 is. Like for some people, okay, I'm a team of the Mets, or I'm a fan of the Mets, and secondly, I'm a fan of New York. If the Mets aren't in it, I'll root for anybody from New York because I live in New York, and that could be your second level.
That's right.
But most people, I think, maybe that's for most people, I don't know. But for me and other people, it depends on the team, right? I'm a Jets guy. My NFC team is the Cowboys. You can't get bigger double loser than me. If those two teams play, I'm gonna. Yeah, now, right? The glory days are long past, or with the
when you became a secondary Cowboys fan. Because most of America did too, right? At the same time.
Yes, I fell in love with America's team in the 70s like everybody else. So if it's the Jets and the Cowboys, I'm rooting for the Jets. If it's either of those teams and anybody else, I'm rooting for whichever one of those, two teams. I don't take New York into if it's the Bills and the Cowboys. I'm rooting for the Cowboys. If it,
Right. Right.
um, there are other teams I like. I like the Seahawks because I used to live out in Washington State, but I wouldn't root for them against over the Cowboys.
Right. Yeah. I
So
mean,
it's different levels. Some people go, oh, it's my team, and then it's New York, and then it's anybody from my division, right? Might be their third choice, even though they're rivals. At least they're my division. Or in football, you could be an AFC guy or an NFC guy. If it's
right.
not my team, I'm rooting for whoever's in the Super Bowl from the AFC. If my team's an AFC, everybody's got what their number 2, 3, 4 slots are as far as their. But for
Right.
me, number one is you can't root for another team like from your state or
Right.
your city. You
Yeah.
just
Like
can't do it.
I get it. And for me, I mean, that New York thing does hold true to a point because like my second NFC team, right, is this is the Packers. I'm a Giants fan first, and then I mean, not close. It's not like a close thing. No, I'm all about. I bleed blue, right? I don't bleed cheese, but I do like the Packers. Um, and then at that point, it's kind of any NFC North team. Like I don't like. It's probably NFC North for me would be Packers. Then the Lions and Vikings kind of interchangeable, but the Bears the least of them. But I still, well, I'll still
Yeah,
look, right. But I don't really.
right.
There's no real teams that I dislike on the AFC. Would my AFC team would be the Steelers first, and then the Jets would probably fall in second, only because it's a New York thing. I don't hate the
But
Jets.
there's no reason to root for the Jets ever.
You're right, right. Well,
You,
there's that.
you'd be wasting your fandom on the Jets.
But I do
Move them
remember
down a couple spots.
move them down, yeah. But I do remember years ago when I was much younger. Years ago, weren't we all much younger? But anyway, uh,
We're all much younger.
we were all much younger. But I do remember years ago that I which we call it. It would for me Super Bowl wise, right? Would always be my conference, right? So it would be if the Giants
Right,
were in
right,
it,
right.
which I'm going back to before the Giants were even in it the first time, right? But even after that for a bit, it was always the Giants first, and then if the Giants weren't in it, it was whoever was in the NFC, like
Who else
North,
in the NFC? Sure. You get a lot
except
of that in baseball too. American
right,
League, National League.
right,
I'm a National League guy. It's not my team. It's whoever's from the National League.
right, exactly. The only caveat there for me personally was if it was the Cowboys, right? Then I'll flip
Then
over
you
the
would then you would go
then I would go AFC.
then you'd go AFC.
But like when the
Then you
Eagles
would root for the Jets.
right. But then when the Eagles, if the Eagles,
So we
if the
both
Eagles,
we both be rooting for the Jets over the Cowboys
right,
if
but if
that
the
ever happened, which
if
it
the
will never will. We don't
will
ever
ever,
have to worry about
I think
making that having that dilemma.
I think the Jets are closer to getting to a Super Bowl right now than the Cowboys are. I'm sorry, I really feel that way, but
Yeah,
sorry, Cowboys.
they're both on separate planets though.
Exactly. But
The Jets are on Mars and the Cowboys are on Jupiter, but they're both way far away.
just a bit. But to that note, like back in what was it, 81, when the Eagles played the Raiders, when Dick Vermeil was coaching the Eagles. Um,
Yep.
and yeah, I was rooting. I was rooting for the Eagles. Not like I would have been if it was the Giants playing the Raiders, but I was still like I wasn't rooting for the Raiders to win. I was rooting for the Eagles to win because it was NFC, right? But the only team that had that caveat there was the Cowboys for me. Well, to that note, though, if for some odd reason, and when we all stop laughing for after I say this, but if for some odd reason the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl this year against the Chiefs, that would be
Ooh.
hard. That would be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
difficult because I still wouldn't want to root for the Chiefs because of what I said on Wednesday night, what I've said over and over again, and I'll say it again a little bit when we jump out of this part of the segment.
Well,
But
we finally talked about the Super Bowl.
we still talk about the Super Bowl. But I'm not rooting for the Cowboys. I'm just not doing it. So I would probably
Yeah,
at
that
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 point
would be.
I probably would have purchased the jersey that I saw last week that said, where it says like New York Giants or Philadelphia Eagles. It said, "I root
Yeah,
for the commercials," you know,
yeah,
or I think
that
I
would
think
be a
one of them
tougher
was
choice.
Super Bowl commercials like that.
Yeah, Chiefs Cowboys would be a much tougher choice than Eagles Yankees.
I would watch the game, but I really, really would be paying less attention to it than I'm going to pay today. So, uh,
I'll tell you, I am really. We'll see how this goes, and I suspect it will have to be less egregious than it has been at many times during the regular season and in the playoffs, especially in the AFC game where there were just half a dozen pitiful, terrible
horrible,
calls. So
horrible.
I expect they will not go to those lengths. But
2 years,
if it's anything close to that,
right?
I may be done with watching football
Yeah,
as a regular thing because there's no real reason to watch the Jets. I mean, yeah, okay, we have a new team coming in and all that. We'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. The hope springs eternal. But I don't. If this is if this happens this way, if it plays out that way, I should say, and it's just another case of obvious cheating by the league, then we know even more strongly what we already know, which is the NFL's in bed with Vegas. And if that's the case, I'm really not interested in watching.
because at that point I'm just watching glorified WWE, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and we always talk about sports, professional sports, as entertainment, and it is.
mhm.
But if you're taking away, and this is definitely going to sound, hey boomer, if you're taking away the integrity, if you're taking away the honor, if you're taking away the honesty of the game,
Mhm.
then I am not interested in the entertainment. You know, I know people love wrestling. If I'm flipping through, I might watch a few minutes because yeah, it's entertaining, and I know it's fake, and that's fine. I don't go out of my way to watch it
Right.
because it's not a type of entertainment that I find to be particularly riveting. It's not destination TV for me. I know some people love it. I don't hate it. I don't make fun of them. I don't go, it's fake, right? Of course, we all know it's fake, but those guys are throwing their bodies around. And all that. They are athletes, but it's just not something that I'm really not interested in watching. But if football reaches that point, obviously not as bad as the WWE, but if it reaches a point where I feel like, yeah, this is fixed and the outcome is predetermined, what the hell am I going to watch it for? I have no interest at that point,
Right.
other than maybe let's see, if the Jets are even incrementally better than they were last year or the year before. That's my only interest. So
I
they're
do.
on the verge. I'm sure they're not worried about it. They're on the verge of losing me as a
There,
fan.
you know what? Yeah, they should be worried about it, all right? Because I mean, this podcast is one of the
They
best.
should be worried about us.
They should be worried about us. They should be. Well, look, here's the thing, right? I mean, it's so short sightedness. I know they're gaining so much more of a big fan base from Taylor Swift. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Stop this. All right. Now, that's just a part of it, right? But I mean, yeah, you're right, Vegas. But I got to be honest with you. I mean, I think Vegas. I think Vegas is secondary when it comes to this. When it comes to the Chiefs and everything that's going on there. Now, other games, yes. I mean, we can point fingers at, okay, that should have been a touchdown. Why did he slide down when he should have ran for? We can
Right,
look
right.
at point shaving and all of that shit, right? But specifically speaking about this, Taylor Swift, and it's almost absurd and preposterous to say that this is even something that even could be possible. But it's how kudos to her. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I don't hate the girl, right? But it's just amazing to me how one person can hold so much weight in something she has nothing to do with other than she's sleeping with one of the guys that plays on one of the teams. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, but the thing is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's absurd to me that that's even a thing. But I think Roger
Right.
Goodell is just his and the whole league for that matter. They're not looking at all they care about. Like they already have whoever's watching football, right? They already have the football fan. They don't need to get the football fan because they already have the football fan. But the problem is
No,
they
but
want
but
now they want the Swifties. Then they want England. Then they want Germany. Now at least Munich. Now what? It's Berlin this year. Then Mexico. Now it's Ireland. There's getting a game this year. So he wants to make it worldwide, and whatever. Kudos
Right.
to that. I don't really have that big of a problem with that. But start another league, right? I don't want my team.
Well, they did that. It didn't work in Europe. They had the European League. It didn't work.
Right. I know. But
I don't think that putting a division over in Europe, like an entire division of teams over there, is going to work either.
Right.
Because they've been talking about that. First, they're talking about one team, then they're like, oh, let's put 4 teams over there.
Right.
So that it's not everybody having to, travel, one team having to travel so much. Look, more viewers means more revenue. And that's what this is all about. And that's what we have to remember. At the bottom line, we talk about it as entertainment, and it is, but it's a business. Mm-hmm. And Roger Goodell doesn't work for the league. He works for the league, but the league is the owners. He's not autonomous. He has, he has the power to do this and that, but he does what the owners tell him. And that's just the way it is. And it's that way in baseball. And it's less so, I think, in basketball. In basketball, the commissioner does kind of what he thinks the players want. But I think football is the most egregious, even more so than baseball. Yeah. Goodell is just a mouthpiece for the owners. And they want money, and this is the way to get money. And if they get the Swifties, we know they're not real fans. If Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce break up and she stops going to the games, those fans are gone. 99% of them are gone. But we'll take them if we can get them now. And if we can advance a storyline that's going to keep her in the game, right? Mm-hmm. And keep those fans watching through the Super Bowl, we'll take it because it's more money, more viewers, more advertising dollars. And that's all it's about. That's all it's about.
Yeah, I got you.
And okay, if you want to do that, go ahead, boost your business, boost your stock, do whatever you want to do. You're going to lose me because it's not a real product anymore. And if enough people want to watch it, then they'll keep doing what they're doing. If people turn away and go, this is bullshit, and if it's not going to be real, I'm not going to watch it. The real football fans, that's the only way you'll see change come about. And I'm not sure there's enough people that will do that because the NFL is so big now, and it's a year-round thing. It is America's pastime. It surpassed baseball. We've been saying that for years. It's on 4, if not 5 freaking days a week. It's on Saturdays during the playoffs. The hell with college football goes up against. So they are the biggest thing in the world. And so, yeah, they might lose some fans, probably not enough to really affect their bottom line that much.
Right. I agree.
So, I don't think it'll ever change, but maybe they'll lose enough fans that they'll sort of back off a little bit, so that it's not quite so obvious. I guess I can live with it if it's not quite so obvious.
Right. But, I don't know how. I mean, at this point, I don't know how it could be even any less obvious. Yeah.
Well, if it
drops down a little bit, right? If even it drops down a little bit, we know it now, so we're going to be looking for it, right? But whatever, it is what it is. Here's the thing, right? We've talked about this before, and then we'll get into some Super Bowl actual conversation now. 19 minutes into a half an hour show, but
what do we really have to say about the Super Bowl?
That's true. Well, a couple other,
pick our winners and
talk about prop bets and call it a day and prop bets, right? So
yeah.
But here's my thing. Whatchamacallit? They're not scripting any games, right? There's absolutely no way they could script.
No, I don't think so. No.
Game, right? But
no.
And Bill, we talked about this on Wednesday night with Bill Burr. He said this. They're massaging the games, right?
Yeah.
But the only way to massage the games is if they're close, right? So if another team just takes off, right, and is ahead by 3 scores or more, and stays ahead by 3 scores or more, maintains. There's no way to massage back from that. So it is what it is. So
you can help it, but one team has to. But the team that's behind has to play some better defense,
right?
And score, and you can help them catch up. But you can't do it enough to just make you're right. Bring a team back from 3 scores down.
It'll be too egregiously obvious at that point. So.
If you are massaging from minute 1 from the opening kickoff,
right,
then the massaging can be keep it close so that those calls that are rigged will have more of an impact
Right.
on
No,
the
you're,
team that
you're
you want to
absolutely
have
right.
the impact.
Well, hopefully it's the first one, and hopefully they don't massage from minute go. But whatever, we'll see. And like I said, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure I reflect a lot of the other people out there. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily want to root for the Eagles, but I just can't root for the Chiefs. I can't root for a team that really shouldn't be there. Because even if you just go back to the last game, and I'm not even talking about the regular season or anything else, just the last game, and we've said this, the Bills won that game. The Bills should have won
Yeah.
that game. Just that they got that first down twice on 3rd and 4th down, and the Chiefs still got the ball back. That was a dropped pass. It was there were so many things that the Bills really, really should have won that game, but we'll never know. What are we going to What are we going to do? But the Eagles, and it pains me as a Giants fan to say, the Eagles do deserve to be there. The team they have is very, very, very good. As a Giants fan, I'm actually jealous of the team that the Eagles have put together over the last
Yeah.
7, 8 years or more. But
They've done a good job. They put together a good team. They're very deep.
Yeah.
I know people are ranking on their coach, but all he does is win with them. So, and he
to be quite
doesn't
honest with you,
necessarily need.
I do feel that way about Nick Sirianni. I do know a couple of Eagles fans that do too. I think either you or
Yeah,
I, as the head coach, could win with that team. That's how good they are.
maybe.
You know,
Well, we could. What's his name? Who's the guy for the Giants? Barry Switzer. We could Barry Switzer it.
there you go. There you go.
But he
Yeah,
came in after Jimmy Johnson won a Super Bowl. Listen. As far as the Chiefs go, I think that even if the Chiefs lose this game, because we've been talking about, the goal is to have a three in a row Super Bowl winner, right?
right.
But you've gotten to the game. All the Swifties are watching.
Mhm.
All the hype is on.
Right.
Even if the Chiefs don't win, from a revenue standpoint, you've achieved your goal if you're the NFL, right?
Right.
You've got all the hype, you got all the viewers, you got all that.
Mhm.
So I don't see, in other words, as moving forward, I don't see what making the Chiefs win gets you monetarily.
I don't either.
Maybe, you know what I mean? Like you've gotten everything out of this. You're at the big game. Everyone's watching, whether they win or lose.
Mhm.
Now, maybe if they win their third in a row, you might have some people who are gonna, at that point, they're on the fence and they're gonna decide, I hate the Chiefs, and I'm gonna watch, games when my team is not on that they're playing, hoping, rooting against them, right? Because everybody either loves a dynasty or you hate a dynasty.
Yeah, there's no
But I
bad
don't think
practice.
that's right, right. But I don't think that's going to get you the kind of extra money that everything up to this point has gotten it. So they might say, well, we'd like to see the history. But I mean, without without becoming the WWE, no NFL team's going to win 4 in a row, right?
Right.
So once you've had a team win 3, there's nothing, that's never going to happen again, probably. You know what I
Right.
mean? If they don't win, if they let the game go and the Eagles win, well, now that 3 in a row is still a possibility. You have to start all over, but all that hype and all the buildup over a course of years, and that all those money streams, although you have to get Taylor Swift to date somebody else, somebody who's on the team that's winning 2 in a row, if it's not the Chiefs. Um,
Yeah.
let's say the Eagles win. Let's say the Eagles win, and then they win again next year. Well, then she's got to date an Eagle while they go for 3 in a row.
Right.
But all that hype and all that money and all that interest you're at the peak of that right now, and I don't think you retain that audience anymore if the Chiefs win,
Agreed.
and you might retain it even more, in fact, if they don't win. So we will see. Hopefully, they'll just call the game fairly and let the chips, no pun intended, fall where they may.
Or where they may.
All
All
right.
right. So
So
before we get to some prop bets, I want to start off that segment by saying this. There was a real posted the other day. AI predicted the next 10 Super Bowls, and the teams, the matchups. and the scores and the winners.
Okay.
So I'll go through them really quick. All right, it starts with today. It starts with today, Super Bowl 59. All right.
All right.
AI, I'm just going to tell you.
Well,
I'm not gonna,
yeah. No. Just tell
what are
me.
we going to say? Let's just what? What are we going to say?
Well, you give me the teams, and I'll guess the winner.
Well, okay. So, okay. Tell me who. All right. Guess who AI predicts today. I'll tell you the score after that. You
I'll say the Eagles.
no,
I say they predict the Eagles.
AI predicts the Chiefs will win today 27-24 by a field goal.
Okay.
All right. So the Chiefs do three-peat. Okay. Next year, the AI has the Super Bowl, the Lions and the Chiefs.
I'll say they predict
going for a four-peat at that point.
I'll say they predict the Chiefs.
Nope. They predict the Lions to beat the Chiefs 31-28 by a field goal.
All right, I'm going for two. I'm going to say that. By a field goal. Everything's going to be a 5 field goal.
All right. Super Bowl 60. That was Super Bowl 60. 2 years from now, in 2027, Super Bowl 61. They predict the Texans to play the Eagles.
I'll take the Texans.
Very good. You got one right. They predict the Texans to beat the Eagles 45-10.
Okay, so Jalen Hurts is somewhere else, and the Eagles are in a rebuild, and Rex Ryan is their coach.
They're in a rebuild. In a Super Bowl, in a rebuild.
In a rebuild, yeah.
They're that good that while they're in a rebuild, they still get to the Super Bowl.
Well, Saquon's had an amazing year. They got to the Super Bowl.
42. No, I'm kidding.
He rushed for 2,600 yards. He threw for 13 touchdowns.
He threw.
And
he's the new quarterback. It's a wildcat every play.
Well, yeah, they do a lot of run options, pass options. So he's had the most incredible season any player's ever had.
Right. That's great. All right. So on to Super Bowl 62. Different players completely. They predict the Super Bowl will be the Bears and the Chargers.
Oh man. That's so ridiculous. I'll say they pick the Bears.
They do. Bears beating the Chargers 21-14.
Yeah, AI is drunk.
There you go. Super Bowl 63. They have the Chiefs and the Commanders.
Oh boy. Mahomes isn't really getting old yet. I'll say they take the Chiefs.
They do. Chiefs over the Commanders 38-24. All right. Super Bowl 64. They have the Chiefs and the 49ers. Chiefs going for a two-peat. Here we go again. Chiefs and the 49ers. By the way,
I'll take
third time the Chiefs have played the 49ers at that point in 12 years, 10 years, whatever.
Yeah. All right, I'll take the 49ers. I think they...
Nope. They have the Chiefs two-peat.
No, they took the Chiefs.
Yeah,
so
21-19, a 2-point Super Bowl. In Super Bowl 65, they have the Chiefs appearing in their third Super Bowl in a row again. And they're playing the Cowboys.
Well, I'll take the Cowboys then.
You would be wrong. They have the Chiefs three-peating again and beating the Cowboys by a score of 27-0. Blanking the Cowboys. All right.
Not even a defensive touchdown.
Not even a defensive touchdown. Super Bowl 66, they have the Chargers playing the Bears again, a replay of Super Bowl 62 4 years later.
I'll take the Chargers this time.
And they have the Chargers finally winning their the Super Bowl the third time they get there, beating the Bears 31-28.
This is what, 65 or 66?
That was 66. All right.
66 Super Bowls, and the Chargers win one.
Finally win one, right. Super Bowl 67.
Still ahead of Detroit, though. Right?
Yes. Detroit won in Super Bowl 60.
Oh, they did? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. They beat the Chiefs. According to AI, they beat the Chiefs next year. So,
Oh, they beat the Chiefs. All right.
right. In Super Bowl 67, they have the Colts and the Eagles. Now, mind you, Saquon is 38 at this point.
Yeah, they seem to like if you look like let's say it was this year and you had the teams that you had, they seem to like the underdog when it's not the Chiefs. So
Okay.
I'll take the Colts.
They do. They have the Colts winning 33-30.
Yeah, AI seems to favor the team that's not as good right now in these Super Bowls, as long as the Chiefs are not involved.
Right.
Except for the one case where Detroit won.
Exactly. And then for Super Bowl 68, the 10th one from now, the Super Bowl is the Raiders and the Bucks.
Oh, well, I'll have to take the Raiders.
The Raiders.
They're one of my favorite AFC teams.
According to AI, the Raiders beat the Bucks 13-10.
10 Super Bowls from now.
10 Super Bowls, including today, 10 Super Bowls from now. So
Including
nine years.
Right.
So there you go. Now, the thing that is the most speaking to me out of this is that AI has no faith whatsoever in anything that the Giants or the Jets are doing.
Oh, yeah. They're not even in the conversation.
They're not even in a losing effort in a conversation over the next 10 years. Right? So,
yeah. How many teams are actually on that list? Chiefs,
all right, so
Chargers, Lions, Raiders, Colts.
Hold on, I'm going to tell you right now.
Niners.
It's the Chiefs, Eagles, Lions, Texans, Bears, Chargers, Commanders, 49ers, Cowboys, Colts, Raiders, and Bucks.
So what is that, 17?
12 teams.
12. So over the next 10 Super Bowls are only going to have 12 different teams participating.
Right. And the Chiefs are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. The Eagles are in 3 of them. The Bears are in 2 of them. The Chargers are in 2 of them. And everybody else is in 1 of them.
Yeah, how did the Bears get so good and the Jets and the Giants don't? I guess they believe in Caleb Williams.
I guess they believe in Caleb Williams, and I guess they believe in. I mean, they put the Cowboys. Granted, they're getting shut out, but they put the Cowboys in there. I guess they believe in Brian Schottenheimer more than they believe in anything the Giants and the Jets are doing.
And they do not believe in a 46-year-old Aaron Rodgers at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, maybe they do.
45,
maybe they do.
44, no.
Maybe they do, and that's why the Texans win.
Oh, maybe.
or maybe that's why the Cowboys get there, because Prescott's gone and Aaron Rodgers is 47 years old playing for the Cowboys in Super Bowl 60.
He's a player coach, player coach for the Cowboys.
Player coach for the Cowboys, right? So, see, that would have been more interesting.
That would have been good. I would have gotten behind that.
We'll share this video on Instagram and Facebook in a little bit, so you can have at it and take a look if you want to check it out. But I thought that was pretty funny. All right. Let's do our prop bets. Harry has just texted. He's unfortunately he's very sad. He feels very bad, but he's unable to join.
He's probably so happy that he doesn't have to do this.
But he did give us his vote for MVP. So I'll tell you who that is when we get to who we're picking for MVP.
Oh, when we get to MVP. All right. So I don't have a formal list. This is just off the top of my head. Let's do the easy ones. Well, first you want to pick make our winner picks at the end?
We'll do our winner. We'll do MVP second to last. We'll do MVP last. We'll do our winner pick second to last.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So which team scores first?
Okay.
I'll let you go first on all these. And you'll have to write them down because I'm in the car.
Eagles score first.
All right. I'll take the Chiefs. I'll just go opposite of whatever you do.
All right.
Just for the fun of it. We'll do it over under style.
Okay.
What type of score is it? Is it going to be a passing touchdown, a running touchdown, a defensive touchdown that could either be an interception or a fumble recovery, a field goal, or a safety?
It is going.
Or I guess we could put drop kick on the list too, right?
Now we can,
yeah. So what will it be?
It will be a running.
And by the way, the extra point is included.
Right.
So we don't in any touchdown. So.
Right.
So I'm sorry. Yes,
It'll be a rushing TD.
All right, I'll take passing.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the Eagles with a rushing TD. I wonder. Well, I don't know. Who do you think is going to be the player that does that?
That's the third one.
Yeah.
Okay, it would be Saquon Barkley. Yes.
All right. So I picked the Chiefs in a passing TD. So I will say. You know what? I'll say Kelce. Why not? If you're going to script it, script it.
There you go. I'm just putting these all here, and you say, Kelce.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got the Eagles rushing Barkley. I've got the Chiefs passing Kelce.
Kelce, right.
Okay. Okay. Next up is who scores last?
Eagles.
All right. I'll take the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And then next is that last score the winning score? That is to say, does it win the game for that team?
I say, hold on one second here. Last score. I'm just making notes of all of this, right?
Of course, we could just rewatch it later and then write it down then too.
That's fine.
That's just occurred to me too.
Well, no, I usually type while you're typing, but I just wanted to finish that one. Is it a winning score? Yes, it's the winning score.
All right, so you're taking the Eagles, and it's a winning score. So I'll take the Chiefs, but I will also say yes, it's a winning score.
Yes.
I will break from the over/under format.
There you
go. One.
Okay. Well, if you're the Chiefs, well, that's true. I see what you're doing, but it's an over/under of sorts. It's the same thing, but you have the other team doing it. So your way, my way, the Eagles win. Your way, the Chiefs win.
Right. Because if I say no, it's not the winning score, then the Chiefs are already ahead and they score one more time, just for to cement it or maybe make it a 2-score game. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the final score, whichever team it is, I think is going to be the winning score.
Gotcha. All right.
And what kind of score will that final score be?
Field goal.
Passing, rushing, field goal. You say field goal. Mm-hmm. I say. I'm going to add one more to the list of possible scores here. I forgot. We got to add 2-point conversion.
Fair enough, because
the extra point is.
Well, then it would be a touchdown, though. I mean, even though it's a 2-point conversion, it would still be the TD that they scored to be able to do the 2-point conversion. You could put that caveat in there. It's going to be a TD, but with a 2-point conversion, but it's still the TD, right?
That's true. I guess that's true.
Although the 2-point conversion,
but in other words, but the extra point is included in the touchdown.
The 2-point conversion,
like we say,
because they have to choose to go for it, and that's what wins them the game. So yeah, 2-point conversion is it's during a touchdown. But here's the point: if it's not going to win them the game, there's no point in pointing it out. But if it is to win them the game, is what you're saying, then it makes sense to say it's
right. So I'm going to take 2-point conversion. So it's going to be Chiefs game-winning score, and it's going to be a 2-point
conversion. Gotcha. All right.
So however they actually get in the end zone for the 6, I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
2-point that's going to win.
2-point conversion is
they're going to be down by 1 at that, and they're going to go for 2, and it's going to.
Gotcha.
Which they won't. Probably.
Right.
Well, who knows? Depending on how much the refs are on their side.
Right.
Then the final sort of dual prop bet, and there's an over/under element to this too, is who gets more airtime, Taylor Swift or Donald J. Trump?
No,
who will be at the game.
That's a 100% no-brainer. 100% no-brainer. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Taylor Swift gets more airtime.
All right. I'll take Donald J just to be contrarian.
There you go.
And then the other element of that is what is the over under for total screen time during the game, not including halftime. So no pregame, no postgame, no halftime, only during the actual when the game is actually on. So from the start of the first half to the end of the first half, start of the second half to the end of regulation.
Total
Over under for total screen time
between these two, same thing.
is
how much?
Right. So you're saying Taylor's going to get more. I'm saying Donald's going to get more. How much? What is the over under?
How much airtime or how much airtime time wise, or how many cutaways?
No, how much airtime time wise?
Time wise, okay.
You can do cutaways also if you want.
It'll be easier to count. I mean, people know. I mean, they're going to say it, right?
Somebody's going to count it up, though. Somebody's going to add it. Let's do both.
All right, we'll do both.
All right, so cutaways. Do you remember what it was last year?
It
was in the teens, right?
I think it was 18.
How about? All right, how about because there's two of them, so some of those reaction shots might. So how about 12.5?
As the over under?
Yeah, for whoever the winner is. Because some of those that went to Taylor might go to Donald this year. So
Gotcha.
That total cutaway. So let's go 12.5 for the over under.
Okay. 12.5 for the over under. I'm still gonna say it's over. It might only be 13, but it's still gonna be over.
All right, I'll take the under. And then total screen time for those multiple cutaways. Let's say they're usually pretty. I don't think I even looked up how much time. How about 2 minutes 9 seconds? 2 minutes 9.5 seconds.
2 minutes and 9.5 seconds total screen time. Okay.
What would a dozen cutaways?
Probably right around there.
60, 120 would be 2 minutes. So it'll be 129 seconds, 12 cutaways. So about averaging 10 seconds each. That's a pretty big average.
That's a pretty big average. I think you're only
you get some longer ones.
You
do get some longer ones, but most are 4 or 5
seconds.
So how about 1 minute 59.5 seconds?
1 minute 59.5 seconds. So 2 minutes.
It'd still be about. How about one? I don't know how far. Like I feel like if we go too low,
I like the 1 minute. I like the 1 minute 59.5 seconds. I like that as the over.
All right. There we go.
All right.
1 minute 59.5 seconds. The total screen time.
I'm still going to say over.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more too. I'll take the under though, just to be.
Okay. And you're under 1 minute 59.
Because it's more exciting when one of us is right and one of us is wrong.
Exactly, and it's more exciting when if we have the third person. We'll send all of these to Harry, and hopefully he has a minute or two before 6:30 tonight to.
Yeah, that'd be nice if you could fill in.
A minute. That would be good.
They can Google form, so all he has to do is click.
There you go.
Send him a Google form.
All right.
All right. Now, what do you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Were you gonna bring up food?
Let's do this first. Let's finish the actual.
Oh wait, we didn't do MVP.
Well, no,
we didn't do MVP.
Okay. Well, let's say okay. So obviously, winner. Obviously, we already picked it. Obviously, by what we're saying. So obviously, I say the Eagles, and you say the Chiefs. And how do you spell Eagles? It's EGLGLSG, right?
IGGLES.
Well, I had the mayor spelled it. I was trying to figure out how.
Oh yeah. There's been a few misspellings.
I know. So anyway, Eagles, and you say Chiefs. And who's the MVP? So
Um, oh, man, Josh Allen.
all right, this one I'm putting on the line.
Um, well, I don't know any of the referees' names, so I'll go with Patrick Mahomes.
All right. So you say Patrick Mahomes. I was going to say Hockley, but no. No, it's you say Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to Saquon Barkley. If the Eagles win, Barkley's getting the MVP. So,
All right. I think that's yeah. It's either
right.
Barkley or well, I mean, you could have a receiver who comes into the mix, but either Barkley or Hurts are the most
Yeah.
obvious choice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think
But
it's
yeah,
going to
if we were reversed, I would pick Barkley.
be. Right. And Harry Lug Nutz put in his. Ron Jaworski.
All right, wait a minute. Wait, let me guess. So it's not someone who. Let me get. It's not someone who's on the team now.
Right.
Am I right? Yeah.
Right.
All right. So if he thinks the Chiefs are going to win, he might pick like Hank Stram
Or Lenny Dawson, or yeah.
Lenny Dawson. If it was the Eagles, I would say either maybe Randall Cunningham or
It's not this guy. It's not this guy. Donovan
it's not Donovan McNabb. How about Oh Jesus!
I don't think he played for the Eagles.
Oh, how about Jaworski?
I actually mistakenly started to say it, but you didn't hear me. That's what he did. He picked Ron Jaworski.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That's funny.
Yeah,
So,
I was thinking Cunningham or maybe Larry Zonka because the fumble against the Giants. I was trying to think like who would the most hated Eagles be from a Giants standpoint.
Well, that would be Herm Edwards, or the.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I meant. Herm Edwards, right, who picked up the fumble. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much ink are they going to save by leaving off the AAN?
You're leaving off the AAN. Please, come on.
But
all right, so there we go. That's
there
good.
you go. All right, I got a couple props for you too. All right.
All right, cool.
All right, so we got what should we call it? We got what's the color of the Gatorade? This isn't a one or the other. Just in general, what's the color of the Gatorade?
You mean the one they dump on the winning coach, or
right? So I'm assuming you would go with red.
Well, yeah, I would guess red.
Yellow,
yeah, because
yellow, right? Could be yellow. Right?
Well, they could go lemon lime for the Eagles, right? They might want lemon lime because it's greenish.
Right. Yeah, that's what my guess is.
So I'll go red. Yeah, that's
red.
A good prop.
Yeah. You go red and I go green, and there we go. And there we go. And then here's another one. Who is winning? Well, I'll do that third. How long? Oh, we'll do an over-under for the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
1 minute 40 seconds. 1 minute 40 and a half seconds.
I'll go over.
All right. On that note, I'll go under.
I don't even know who's singing it.
I'm not sure either, actually. So you're over, I'm under for the national anthem. And the third one that I have for it is who wins what do they call it? The Manning Bowl or the kick of destiny?
Oh,
Eli and Peyton are going up against each other for the kick of destiny. So who wins that?
I'll have to go Eli.
All right, I'll go opposite of, even though I think actually no, I don't. I actually think Peyton's going to win it. You go Eli. I do think Peyton's going to win. I'll give you my reasoning. All right. If we are watching the new and improved WWE here, and we know this is just a joke anyway, right? We know it's just a joke anyway. I mean, what's the
Right,
man?
right.
What's the kick of destiny, right? Whatever. Eli has won the last 2 or 3 Pro Bowl games, punishing his brother.
Yeah.
Giving Peyton something.
All right. Yeah,
Little
that's
brother
interesting. I'll
can't
say
keep
this.
beating an older brother all the time here. You know?
So they're throwing him a bone. Yeah.
Mm.
I would think Peyton is, like, in this instance, he would be the more competitive of the two.
Right.
But Eli's a little younger. And I mean, look, the guy was an NFL quarterback. So it seems ridiculous to even suggest that, like, I'm not suggesting he's not an athlete or not a great athlete. You have to be, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, you look at Eli, he's like, to me, it just seems like he's a sneaky good. Like, he's better than you might think. Right?
I
Like,
agree
even
with
though
that
he was an
100%.
NFL quarterback, he's a sneaky good. You look at the two of them and you go, oh, Peyton's you know what I mean? He's the prototypical Eli, but Eli's sneaky good. And
Not to
so I think
mention
he'll
that.
be a little bit better.
Not to mention that Eli's younger. He's been in competition shape much more recently than Peyton has. All right,
Right.
and you look at Peyton, and not that the man's old, because of course he's not old, because you and I are older than him, so he's not old, right?
Right.
But
He can't be old.
he can't be old.
But he's football old. He's football old.
He's football old, right? So he definitely does look like he's walking on the older side of things, much more so than Eli.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
All
Right.
right.
That's a good one.
All right. The only way to figure this out is all right. Yeah, we don't even go there. I was going to say, what do you think is going to be the main food eaten today?
Oh, I have to say chips and dip.
Yeah, probably, right. I know you say that, you do say that every year, but you're probably right, because that's the easiest thing to do. Everybody can get that, even if they're not eating a lot. Aside from chips and dip, though, chips and dip and pretzels and all that aside, what like, out of wings, nachos, and chili, which of those 3 is going to be consumed? Which will be more consumed today?
Oh man, I'll say wings, because I think if you're quote unquote making them yourself, they're easier
Right.
than making a pot of chili. Nachos are not hard to make, but you got to lay them out, and you know what I mean, if you want to do it right,
Right.
and you got to layer them and all that. And I
Right.
don't know anybody who really makes like a platter of nachos, and makes it beautiful. Like you buy that in a restaurant, but I don't know anyone who makes nachos that way.
Mhm.
Maybe you do.
Right.
Or maybe I've never come across, like, I've never been to a party where somebody made a laid out platter of nachos.
Yeah, I don't make them that often. I make once in a while. I make them. It's my thing is, well, whatever I make every year, and I make
You make chili.
I make chili. Yeah. So
Yeah. So, but I would think wings are. I mean, all you have to do is buy wings, put some spices on them, technically, and bake them, and you're done.
Bake
So
them,
I
grill
would
them,
say
smoke
wings.
them, whatever you're gonna do. Yeah. So
Yeah, whatever you're gonna do. So I would say wings.
I will. This isn't one of the prop bets, and we don't need to do an over under or anything like that here. I'm just agreeing with you. I think wings is going to be the out of those. I think wings.
Yeah, like if you're gonna, I mean, yeah, and I'm not counting like you buy them and they're pre-seasoned and then you just bake them.
Right.
I'm talking about if you're going to, make them yourself.
Right.
Wings is the easiest between chili and nachos and wings. It's easiest to
100%.
make.
Chili takes a while. Nachos is very intricate.
Yeah, and nachos is not like you're not going to buy.
Small,
Yeah, you're not going to buy like frozen nachos and then, you know what I mean, heat them up in the oven. So you're going to make those if you're going to make them. Chili you could buy pre-made. Right. And wings you could buy pre-made.
Which chili? Look, I make good chili. I pride myself on it. I make a few different chilies. I make them well. And I know a lot of people that make better chili than me. I'm not saying I'm the best or whatever, but
yeah,
chili is something that, while to have a really, really, really good chili, you got to have a twist and you got to do it right. For the most part, your average chili, it's easy to make, and it's so much better than store-bought chili. You know, unless you're
Yeah, I
buying
don't
it
know
from,
anyone.
unless you're buying it from somewhere that homemade it, like a store that here's
Right,
our
right,
batch of
right.
chili. But you get canned chili.
Yeah.
I mean, in a pinch, that's good for a hot dog topping, but that's about it. You know,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know anybody who buys, unless it's from a specialty
right?
shop, like a chili place, whether it's a brick and mortar or it's a food truck, or I don't know anybody who buys the chili to, like in, 30 cans to dump into a pot to heat up and serve at the Super Bowl.
Right, right.
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess like if you go to Costco or whatever, you could probably find,
The number 10
5
can.
pounds of chili in a frozen
Right.
bag. But I don't know anybody who does that. So.
It's crazy. I just
Yeah,
realized I was gonna say I just realized the
go ahead.
entire time of this show, I never changed the background, the restream background, and it didn't bother me. So
Yeah, who cares?
we'll just leave it for this special show. We have a special background. It's not the football.
Yeah.
Look at that. So,
Maybe we'll bring some people in who are like, what are they talking about? They got a different background. Must be something interesting for them.
exactly.
So you got chili going on. What else?
Today we're going around the corner to our neighbor's house. We got chili. We have Philly cheesesteaks and Kansas City ribs.
Oh, that's nice.
All right.
That's nice.
We also have phyllo dough with baked brie and garlic.
Yeah, that's
that.
a good one.
And somebody's making something else. And then, of course, the chips and dip and all the other stuff. But I went out and I bought, the beer guy that I am, right? I went out and I bought Boulevard beer from Boulevard Brewery. I bought beer from Boulevard Brewery, and I bought beer from Yards Brewing. All right. Boulevard is in Kansas City, and Yards is in Philadelphia.
There you
go. So we got to drink the Boulevard beer with the Kansas City ribs, and drink the.
You don't have to.
And drink the Yards beer with the.
You're really getting into the spirit.
Kidding. Yeah. So anyway, it'll be fun.
Well, we got they're going to the sister-in-laws. We got chili, wings, roast beef sliders. Donna made a pulled pork.
Nice.
Which she is extremely good at. So I'll be eating a lot of pulled pork, and I'm sure there'll be the usual chips and dips. I don't think there'll be any nachos, but they'll have a couple of sour cream dips. There'll probably be a few different salsas. Usually they have like a corn and a green chili kind of salsa thing there, and a bunch of different chips. And we'll probably have. Usually we have like some of the typical, like the little mini quiche,
sure,
pigs in blankets.
Oh yeah,
that sort of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so those. But that'll probably be about it.
Sounds all good.
All right,
we're heading over. We're heading over to about 4 o'clock. No, I was just gonna say we're heading over to about between 4 and 4:30. You got some work to do, so why don't we wrap the show up then?
Yeah, I gotta do a little driving, but I think I should be there.
Make a little love. Yeah.
Make a little money.
Make a little money.
Gotta pay for that
exactly. So, all right. On that note, we will wrap the show for today. I want to thank everybody for watching. For those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. And of course, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, you're probably listening to it tomorrow or later, so you know what happened in the Super Bowl. So you can check out our prop bets, see how we work. But don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. Exactly. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our socials are available on YouTube as well on the Log Room channel. This being a special Super Bowl Sunday podcast. It's not the I don't have to tell you when we go live, but normally we go live every other Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, regardless, you can do so on our audio host Spreaker, as well as anywhere that you find your podcast. Anyway, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more feeds and of course social media, and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. That's what I always say. That's on here. I have to stop looking at it. Have a great weekend. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. That's what's coming up tomorrow. There you go, John. And enjoy the Super Bowl. Eat a lot, drink a lot, eat responsibly and drink responsibly. But enjoy your week, and we will talk to you a week from Wednesday, folks. Take care. Cheers.
There we go. And as my dad always used to say, whenever the Jets weren't playing but we were watching football, regardless of who was on the screen, come on, Baltimore!
Go Toronto Argonauts.
Bye, everybody.